Have you ever noticed how, as you grow older, you start saying the same phrases your parents once said, but in a gentler tone? How you catch yourself comforting a friend, or even a child, in the exact way you once wished someone had comforted you? It's strange, almost poetic, how life slowly pushes us toward becoming the very figures we once needed most. But this transformation isn't automatic. It's not just growing up. It's something deeper. It's a form of psychological alchemy, where pain, unmet needs, and childhood wounds are transformed into wisdom, empathy, and strength. Today, we're exploring how we become the parent we needed, and how that journey can change everything. Every one of us begins life as a mirror of our environment. As children, we don't have the ability to separate who we are from what we experience. When we are loved consistently, we internalize safety. When we are ignored, criticized, or abandoned, we internalize instability. Psychologist Bowlby, who founded attachment theory, explained that our earliest bonds become the blueprint for all future relationships. A secure attachment teaches us that the world is safe and that our needs matter. But an insecure one, whether avoidant, anxious, or disorganized, teaches us the opposite, that love is unpredictable, conditional, or even dangerous. And when those early attachments are fractured, something inside us freezes in time. That frozen version of us, the child who still longs for safety, attention, or approval, doesn't just disappear. It grows with us, hidden beneath adult responsibilities, achievements, and logic. Psychologist Carl Jung referred to this as the inner child, the part of the psyche that holds both our innocence and our wounds. It's the part of you that still gets anxious when you disappoint someone, the part that craves validation, the part that feels small and unworthy no matter how much you accomplish. And here's the paradox: the more we ignore that inner child, the more it controls us. It leaks into our relationships, our decisions, and even our self-image. For some people, that hidden child drives perfectionism. They work endlessly to earn the approval they never got. For others, it shows up as avoidance, pulling away from intimacy to avoid being hurt again. And for some, it becomes caretaking, trying to fix everyone else because deep down, they're still hoping someone will finally fix them. These patterns are not weaknesses. They're survival strategies, born from a time when love was conditional and safety uncertain. But as adults, what once protected us now limits us. And the only way forward is to become what we once needed. This doesn't mean replacing your parents or resenting them forever. It means reparenting yourself. The term reparenting, popularized by therapist John Bradshaw and later expanded in trauma psychology, describes the act of giving yourself, now as an adult, the emotional nourishment you missed as a child. It's learning to say to yourself, "I'm proud of you," when no one else does. It's allowing yourself to rest without guilt. It's comforting yourself through anxiety instead of shaming yourself for feeling weak. Reparenting is not an abstract concept. It's the slow rebuilding of an inner relationship with yourself, one act of compassion at a time. But before we can reparent ourselves, we must understand what kind of parent we actually needed. Was it someone who would protect you from chaos? Someone who would listen without judgment? Someone who believed in your potential when no one else did? Often, the parent we needed is revealed through our emotional triggers. Every time you overreact, shut down, or spiral into shame, it's not random. It's that inner child crying out for the care it never received. And the moment you can recognize that pain without running from it, you begin to heal. The psychoanalyst Winnicott once said that there is no such thing as a baby, only a baby and someone. What he meant is that our sense of self develops in relationship to others. When we're young, we don't know who we are until someone mirrors us, until someone looks at us with warmth and says, "I see you." If no one ever did, we grow up feeling unseen, and we spend our lives chasing that reflection through others, partners, friends, social media. But true healing begins when you learn to mirror yourself, to become that compassionate witness who sees your pain and says, "You make sense. I'm still here." This act of self-witnessing is powerful. It's what transforms us from wounded children into wise adults. Jung described individuation, the process of becoming whole, as the integration of our unconscious parts. That includes our inner child. When you learn to comfort that part of you instead of silencing it, you stop repeating the old story of abandonment and begin writing a new one. You stop searching for the parent you never had and start becoming them. It's not easy. You'll resist it at first, because the voice in your head, the critical, anxious, perfectionist voice, is often the internalized echo of your caregivers. It's the voice that says, don't mess up, don't make a scene, don't be too much. Reparenting means replacing that voice with one that is patient and kind, instead of what's wrong with me. You learn to ask, what happened to me? Instead of, I should be over this by now, you remind yourself, healing takes time. It's a shift from punishment to presence. Over time, you start noticing small changes. You speak to yourself gently when you make mistakes. You set boundaries that honor your peace instead of your fear. You stop chasing love and start cultivating it within. This is how transformation happens, not through grand breakthroughs, but through thousands of quiet moments where you choose compassion over criticism. You might wonder, why does this matter? Why not just move on and forget the past? Because what we don't heal, we hand down. As psychologist Alice Miller wrote in The Drama of the Gifted Child, the true tragedy of childhood is that we repeat it. The wounds we don't address become the unconscious scripts we pass to others, our partners, our children, even our friends. But when we learn to become the parent we needed, the cycle breaks. You begin to love not from need, but from wholeness. You guide not from fear, but from understanding. You give what you never received, and in doing so, you become free. You might not have had the parent who told you it's okay to cry, but now you can be the one who says it. You might not have had someone who taught you boundaries, but now you can model them for others. You might not have had someone who made you feel safe to fail, but now you can create that safety for yourself and for those you love. That's the quiet miracle of reparenting. The child who once suffered becomes the adult who heals. It's also what psychologists call earned secure attachment, a concept from attachment theory describing how adults can move from insecure attachment towards security through conscious effort and self-reflection. By reparenting yourself, you literally rewire your nervous system. You teach your brain that love doesn't have to be anxious or avoidant, that it can be consistent, nurturing, and safe. In this way, you don't just heal your past, you change your future relationships too. And one day, almost without realizing it, you'll catch yourself doing something remarkable. You'll comfort a friend the way you once longed to be comforted. You'll protect a child the way no one protected you. You'll forgive someone not because they deserve it, but because you no longer want to carry their pain. That's when you'll know you've become the parent you needed, not perfect, not invincible, but whole. Because healing doesn't mean erasing the past. It means reclaiming it. It means looking that inner child in the eye and saying, I see you. You're safe now. And from that place of safety we grow, not into who we were told to be, but into who we always were underneath the pain. That's how we stop reliving our childhood and start rewriting it. The next time you find yourself caring for someone else, or even yourself, in a way that feels strangely familiar, pause. You might just be witnessing something sacred. The cycle breaks, the child within you is finally being loved, and the adult you were always meant to become quietly stepping forward.